Game 2 of the doubleheader here on Father's Day beginning in just a few moments. It's the YD Red Sox on the road facing off with the Cotuit Kettleers. Brandon Pelter with Dana Gray. Dana, game 1 ended in a 5-4 walk-off win for the Kettleers in inning number 7. Another 7-inning game ahead of us here this afternoon.
Yeah, a tough loss for the YD Red Sox on the road after getting drubbed yesterday against Falmouth. And it was a battle all the way through the 7 innings. Unfortunately, though, Alec Marsh getting dinged up a little bit in that 7th inning, and it was Zach Bierman singling on an 0-2 pitch. Took a fastball right into the right center gap. That scored Zach Humphrey, and that was all she wrote. But luckily enough, the Red Sox don't have to wait too long to try and bounce back here at Lowell Park.
And for YD, you mentioned the tough outing yesterday. Got the bats going, scoring 3 runs in the first 2 frames, and then a 3 in the 3rd inning, 4 runs for the Kettleers, and just tacking on the 5th there in the 7th.
Yeah, Brad Beasley with his first hit in a Red Sox uniform, a 2-run shot back in the 2nd inning of game number 1. That gave Red Sox a 3-0 lead at that. But unfortunately, Chandler Fidel getting banged up a little bit by the Kettleers towards those middle innings. And the offense had opportunities in the 6th, stranding a couple of guys to even put more across the plate and get that insurance run. Red Sox just couldn't do it. Now they'll be back at it for game 2, starting just about right now.
It's Zach Ashford to start things off for the Red Sox. He takes the first pitch, called a strike on the outside corner. Bryce Jarvis, the starter for the Kettleers here in game number 2.
Yeah, out of Duke, just finishing up his freshman campaign where he pitched in 24 games, 4 of those starts, 2.42 ERA for the Blue Devils.
The 0-1, called a strike on the inner 3rd. Ashford in hole 0-2. John LeBone calling the balls and strikes. John Jordan up the first base line, and Mark Pantadosi, the 3rd base umpire. The umpires for this afternoon's game. From the windup, the right-hander Jarvis, 0-2. Swung on and tapped up the first base side foul off the hands of first base coach Dan Jaffe, 0-2 today. Trying to field some ground balls there.
Hey, he's got 14 innings, though, this afternoon. Plenty of time.
No balls and 2 strikes, no outs, top of the 1st. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Took the first game 5-4 with a walk-off. Here's the 0-2. Swung on up the first base side, a grounder, foul. Count remains.
Ashford back in game 1 was the first time that he hasn't gotten that start at the leadoff position for the Red Sox. Came in as a pinch hitter, and wouldn't you know it, he got on base and provided a big run for the Red Sox that tied the game up in the 6th.
Johnny DeLuca stands on deck. The 3-man is Andrew Martinez. Here's the 0-2. Misses a fastball down low and in. The 4-man Andrew Doshbach and Jimmy Govern is batting 5th. And it's Noah Campbell 6th, and 7th is the designated hitter, Matthews for the Red Sox. Adam Kerner is 8, Luke Waddell 9 as the 1-2 drops low. A breaking ball in the dirt. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs, top of the 1st. Zach Ashford, the leadoff man here. Start the game out, the 2-2. Swung on and golfed into right field. Burdick gives chase and makes the catch. The shoestrings there. Bending over, running toward his right. Able to haul it in for the first out.
Looked like off the crack of the bat that was maybe going to dunk in for a base hit for Ashford, but a good jump for Burdick, the right fielder. Decent at bat for Ashford. Saw a lot of pitches and gave DeLuca a chance to get a peek at the starter for Cotuit as well.
That's exactly what that leadoff man is supposed to do. So 1 out in the top of the 1st. The first pitch to Johnny DeLuca. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1 from Jarvis. Swung on and missed. 0-2. It's a bit helter-skelter in between the doubleheader because we at times don't even get lineups till a few minutes before our first pitch. So we're both hastily still putting the lineups in our scorebooks as the 0-2 cut on and missed or the 3rd strike.
Though what does help, though, is when the home team provides a little food for the interns. those chocolate chip cookies. I don't know if you got a chance for them, Brandon. We tried them out at Harwich a couple nights ago.
Did you just say you don't know if I got a chance to try the chocolate chip cookies?
I mean, I was making a pretty good assumption. I'll take that as a yes.
That's a yes for sure. Here's Andrew Martinez, the 3-man for YD. First pitch breaking ball, drops in for a strike on the outer third. Martinez from the right side here in this at-bat. Top of the first, no score. Jarvis from the line, first base side, the 0-1. Swung on and missed. A ball out in the dirt. Left-hand batter's box. Don't know what Martinez was looking for, but he swung. Certainly the food helps, but if anything, distracted me just a bit. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball misses away.
Hey, it's a long day, these doubleheaders. They do them back-to-back weekends. Right now, the West Division team's hosting everyone. Next weekend, Red Sox will be at home. But it is a long day, especially for these guys just getting used to playing every afternoon.
1-2. Swung on, driven out to right center field. Brundage converges with Burdick, and Burdick, a right fielder, makes the catch for YD. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. They go down in order. Cotuit coming to bat, home half of the first. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. For the Cotuit Kettleers here in the home half of the first, Peyton Burdick leads things off. He's in right field. Will Robertson bats second in left. Batting third, the designated hitter Thomas Dillard, while batting fourth is at first base, Zach Bierman. Batting fifth at third, it's Eric Jones, and Bo Brundage. Batting sixth is the center fielder, while the shortstop, Adam Oviedo, bats seventh, and Corey Wood bats eighth at second base. Rounding out the order, the catcher, Ray Pastrana, and they'll face Nathan Wiles, making his first start here for the Red Sox. Tall right-hander on the bump there for YD from Oklahoma. First pitch to Burdick. Laser straight fastball misses away.
Good spring with the Sooners, 7-3 record, 3.54 ERA through 15 starts at Oklahoma.
1-0. Swung on, driven out to right center field. Ashford is back, and he will make the catch for the first out.
Sun luckily gone down a little bit here at Lowell Park. That's a similar fly ball, a little more pace to it, the one that Quinn Cotton had a lot of trouble with back in game number one that really opened the door for the Kettleers. A costly mistake, but Ashford there to make the grab.
Brings up the two-man Will Robertson. Wind from Wiles. First pitch misses low in the dirt. Bit of an odd alignment for YD. Adam Kerner gets the start behind the dish. In the outfield left to right, Noah Campbell, Johnny DeLuca, and Zach Ashford in right. The 1-0 swung on and tapped foul, but Robertson hit that right off the front foot there. So he hobbles around. He's okay.
Yeah, laboring around home plate. And I think with these doubleheaders, it gives Scott Pickler an opportunity to, maybe try a few different things out defensively. We saw Kerner finish the game behind home plate against Harwich, ended the game throwing someone out, and obviously a few different changes in the outfield. But it is a bit of all hands on deck when you've got to play 14 innings in just one afternoon.
Trainer out here to talk to Robertson, still kind of hobbling around. The infield for YD, left to right. At third, it's Luke Waddell. Normal shortstop, Andrew Martinez, who played third in game one, is now at short. Jimmy Govern is at second, and Andrew Doshbach over at first. Robertson taking his time here. One out in the bottom of the first. No score between YD and Cotuit. Game two of the doubleheader. Robertson will stay in this one. No protection there. You'll a lot of times see hitters with the shin guard that then covers the foot, and that adds a nice padding, but nothing of the sort from Will Robertson. Maybe gives that second thought after this one. He swings at that one, drives it out to left field, giving chase is Campbell, but it dunks in for a base hit. Robertson around first, slides into second. He's there, and a double on the 1-1 pitch for Will Robertson. That might make the foot feel a little better.
Well, he had a lot of time to think about that next pitch coming from Nathan Wiles, and Campbell shaded well to his left towards center field. No chance to make that play. Really good slicing contact into the outfield from Robertson, and Kettleers on the verge of striking first here.
That brings up the three-man Thomas Dillard. Finished game number 1 over 3 in RBI. First pitch. Just misses outside. Nathan Wiles throwing for the Red Sox. First start of the season. Just activated today. Tall right-hander comes set at the chest. Kicks the 1-0. In the dirt, and that gets to the backstop. And now they'll call time. Hit by pitch. Initially, there was no call. That pitch got past Adam Kerner. And I think the first base umpire gave a little bit of help there. John Jordan gave John LeBone some help. That caught the shin of Thomas Dillard. If anything, that's a help for YD. Because over at second, Will Robertson has to stay put.
You took the words out of my mouth, Brandon. Not actually the worst case scenario there is Robertson would have taken third easily if that was actually a pass ball, but instead you keep the double play opportunity open with the four-man.
That brings up Zach Bierman. Hero in game number 1. Had no 2 pitch. Took it to right for a single. Takes this one to right. A long drive. Ashford giving chase, and that one drops in. 1 run is in, and the hands go up there. Dillard at third, and a RBI double for Zach Bierman down the line to right.
Just absolutely smoked. Bierman making great contact in the last half hour. That hit even deeper than its game-winning single back in game number 1. Ashford had to travel a lot as that one dunked in right by the foul line, but turning on it as well. A left-handed hitter, and Cotuit getting on the board here for continuing that momentum here into game 2.
So here comes now the 5-man Eric Jones. Just an out. Runners on second and third. Cotuit trying to break this game open, home half of the first. First pitch, hit on the ground. Infield was up. Martinez fields. Flips on to first in time for the second out. Good pitch there from Nathan Wiles.
Yeah, he couldn't have asked for a better result there and a quicker out. Martinez, a nice job. Realized he had some time to make sure and look back. Dillard at third. Still get the out.
So here is the 6-man Bo Brundage. Game number 1, finished 1 for 3. Runners on second and third, 2 outs, bottom 1. The pitch swung on and missed. That breaking ball dropped down to the shoe tops. Wiles taking a long look. Now comes set at the chest. The 0-1. Swung on and tapped up the third base side. Foul. Wiles quickly ahead here with 2 away in the home half of the first.
You think about that, Wiles is just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning with minimal damage. You'll totally take that, especially some of the hard contact that the Kettleers have had here in this frame.
Wiles sets, runners off of second and third. The pitch, 0-2. Misses down low.
It's a fine 0-2 pitch, though. Good spot. Maybe Brundage goes fishing for it, but if not, no harm, no foul.
1-0 lead for the Kettleers here, home half of the first. 2 outs, runners on second and third. 1-2. Cut on and tipped into the mitt of Kerner. Bo Brundage strikes out swinging, and Wiles works out of a jam. 1 run on 2 hits. 2 men are left on base, and through 1, the Kettleers a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top 2, Cotuit out to a 1-0 lead here against the YD Red Sox. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Brandon Pelter with Dana Gray. Dana, beautiful day here in Cotuit, Massachusetts, Lowell Park, and also Father's Day. Did you get a chance to give Dad a call this morning?
I haven't yet, but that's because I'm actually surprising him up for dinner later tonight. So I'll be heading up back to Boston after the game. So
then I hope he's not tuning in.
Oh, no chance. No chance at all. He's got better things
Andrew
to do.
Dashbach steps in. First pitch swinging, comes up empty on a breaking ball. No chance, really.
He gets to hear me talk enough anyways.
All right, that's fair.
And he'll get all that tonight.
That's fair. I gave Dad a call on the ride to the ballpark. About
good for you.
20, 25-minute ride. He's doing well with some family today. Brother went home. Here's the 0-1. Dashbach holds off, and that misses away.
Really doesn't get much better than a Father's Day in an environment like this. So it's already such a family affair, and baseball, a game that so many sons learn from their fathers.
1-1 from Jarvis. Swung on and missed. Dialed that one up a little bit. Fastball in the inner third. They actually had a pie-eating contest, and if I'm not mistaken, they were partners. And
it was father-son competitors. It's a bummer. We could have excelled.
I could have excelled. Heck yeah. Would have won it. Ball and 2 strikes. Bryce Jarvis steps off. Right-hander on the first base side of the rubber. Working from the windup. Nobody on. Top 2, the 1-2. Swung on, and this one driven out to deep left center field. Robertson giving chase, and that one drops in between Robertson and Brundage. Dashbach aboard with a double here to start out the top of the second.
Really the only place in the outfield where that could have fallen the way that it was hit. Still, it was great contact, but a lot of loft to it. Perfectly equidistant between Robertson and Brundage. Dashbach now aboard.
Equidistant. That a good one.
I'm pulling out all the stops for you. It's game 2.
Is that word of the day? Equidistant, like Webster's word of the day there?
Something like that.
Here's Jimmy Govern. 5-man for YD. Govern was in the leadoff spot in game number 1. 1 for 4 with a run. Now he's got Dashbach on second. No outs. The pitch. In the dirt. Skips away just for a moment from Pastrana, but he runs up the first baseline to gather it. Dashbach stays put at second.
great job by the catcher, Pastrana, to put it up the first baseline. So if he's going to pick it up, he's ready to fire with his right hand. And also kept it right within the dirt around home plate.
No outs, top 2. YD already down a run. Jarvis sets at the chest, the right-hander with the 1-0. Called a strike, inner third. Jarvis on the third base side of the rubber, working from the set here with Dashbach on second base after the leadoff double. Kicks the 1-1. Squares around, pulls back, and that misses upstairs. Govern with some speed, and we've seen him be aggressive on the base paths, even get himself into a little bit of trouble in Orleans, top of the ninth. Got picked off trying to swipe third.
I don't think it was a surprise that the first game he missed of the season came that next afternoon.
So the right-hander, Jarvis, peers in, sets at the chest, hands extended just a bit away. The 2-1 misses upstairs.
Now a great count here for Jimmy Govern to work with. Dashbach not with fantastic speed at second base, but anything towards the outfield, probably going to be trying to send him, especially with a shorter game.
Still little speed, still 4 of 7 this past season. The 3-1 swung on and fouled into the seats first base side. So for a big guy, you take a look at him, looks like a lumber type of build there, and you wouldn't think, but swiped 4 bags with the Cardinal this past season.
And got to second on that previous hit with ease.
So full count here, no outs, top 2. YD trails by a run. Dashbach at second. Payoff pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Did he go? No, he didn't, says John Jordan in between first and second. And Jimmy Govern reaches. Now 2 men on, no outs, and Noah Campbell up for YD.
Great control with the head of the bat there for Govern. You could tell that he wanted to swing at it out of the gate as it started kind of right about his knees, but as it broke away, able to hold off. And Red Sox with something cooking here, looking for that immediate response in the top of the second.
Noah Campbell with the Gamecocks hit .270 in 47 games played, 42 starts. First pitch. Misses outside to the lefty, and Pastrana calls for time to have a chat with Jarvis. Runners on first and second, no outs, top 2. Cotuit out to the 1-0 lead.
And this is an important situation for the Red Sox, especially the way that the last game got away from them. You never want to be playing from behind, especially in a game where you have 6 less outs to work with. So runner in scoring position with no outs. It's a situation where you got to put one across at least.
Bring up a good point. Only 7 innings here with the doubleheader. YD lost game 1, 5-4, 1-0. Squares around, pulls it back in and out of the glove of Pastrana behind the plate. That misses in. So now 2-0 here with runners on first and second base. It's Dashbach on second after the double. Jimmy Govern on first. He walked, and he's got some speed. Corners are up here, expecting the bunt from Campbell. 2-0. Fastball misses low on the outer third. 3-0 on the 6-man Noah Campbell.
Well, now this will be interesting to see what Scott Pickler is asking Campbell to do with a very favorable count. A new bat to the lineup.
Corners back it up. 3-0. Called a strike. Clips the outside corner.
See, I'm surprised that he didn't have the bunt on right there, especially in a 3-0 count. You foul it off, not the worst-case scenario.
Campbell, a long look up the line. Jarvis sets. Runners on first and second. 3-1. Squares. And that ball missed inside, and they say Campbell did not attempt and looked like he certainly did, and he works a walk.
And Roberts, the manager for Cotuit, is explaining what I actually just saw myself and Noah Campbell. He was standing in the batter's box. He knew for sure that he'd fully extended that bunt, hadn't pulled it back in time. I think Campbell was one of the more surprised people in this ballpark.
Mike Roberts,
he was allowed.
Mike Roberts wants the first base umpire brought in on this one. Mark Piantadosi, who was behind the plate in game 1, is now at third, but with 2 men aboard. He's between second and third, so the appeal goes to him. Roberts fired up. Didn't go to talk to a specific umpire. Had a conversation with both of them, yelling across the diamond. First pitch swinging. It's Gabe Matthews. Bases juiced, no outs, top 2. YD trails by a run. Boy, there was no doubt Campbell offered. Here's the 0-1. Misses in the dirt. Up the first base side about 3 steps away, and Pastrana retrieves.
Yeah, I can't blame Mike Roberts right there for getting a little fiery with this umpiring crew, especially the explanation afterwards, who was not so confident as well. One of those that maybe an umpire just realizes, oops, that's on me, but you can't go back and change the call.
1-1. Matthews takes it a hair in, and now 2 balls and a strike. And time is called. Pitching coach out for the Kettleers. Mike Roberts still having a conversation from the dugout with John LeBone behind the plate.
And the pitch count elevating for Jarvis here in this second as well, because just after that leadoff double from Dashbach, you just get into such a mind game situation as a pitcher as he walks Govern, who thought about bunting. You walk Campbell, who thought about bunting. And he's just dealing with a lot of extracurriculars right now and having a tough time focus on Matthews at the plate.
So the mound visit is over. Bases still full of Red Sox with no outs in the top of the second. A 2-1 count here on the lefty. Gabe Matthews, designated hitter for the Red Sox, settles in. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and fouled into the tree's third base side. 2-2 now.
So here you'd expect to see Jarvis's best pitch, whatever he's got in the tank at 2-2, because if you can get the strikeout here, you're looking at a double play possibly to come out with no damage.
From the line, 2-2. Swung on and chopped up the first base side, foul. So this battle continues here. No outs, top second. Andrew Dashbach at third base. Led the inning off with a double and 2 straight walks to Jimmy Govern and Noah Campbell. 2-2. Swung on and popped up third base side right around the Kettleers dugout. Over as the third baseman Jones. No play.
New life for Matthews because that just missed the netting by about a foot. Jones, you could tell, really, really wanted to make the play on that and went as far as he could past the Cotuit dugout. Matthews gets the lucky bounce, so it's been a lucky inning so far for the Red Sox. They got to take advantage of these opportunities when they can.
Matthews settles in that left-handed batter's box, 2-2. Misses low and away. Pastrana diving to his left to keep it in front. Count runs full. Jarvis from the windup. The right-hander payoff pitch. Swung on the ground, right side. Fielded by Wood. Flips to second for 1. No return throw. So 1 out recorded. The middleman in Noah Campbell. And an RBI there on the fielder's choice for Gabe Matthews.
Does his job, hits it slowly on the ground towards the right side, and even a little bit better because if the double play's turned, sure, you still score a run. But the way that was hit with pretty much no pace, not even a try to get Matthews back at first. Dashbach in, and the Sox tie it up quickly.
And so Roberts barking out instructions to his infield. Runners on the corner, just an out. It's Adam Kerner, first pitch swinging, loops this one out to right field. Burdick over, makes the catch, and the tag throw play at the plate. Govern slides in. The throw at the plate brought Pastrana up the third base line a bit, and he had to climb the ladder to make that catch. No play as Govern slides in safely in a sac fly. RBI for Adam Kerner. YD now the 2-1 lead.
And even if that's a perfect throw with the speed coming down the line of Govern just to go 90 feet to score the run, it would have taken a miracle.
So with 2 away, here's the 9-man Luke Waddell. First pitch, down low, misses. He's got a man on. That's Gabe Matthews. The RBI reached on the fielder's choice. YD now out to a 2-1 lead. 1-0. Check swing. Home plate umpire says yes, he did. And surprised we didn't hear anything from Mike Roberts, that third base dugout of the Kettleers.
Well, he's got to save his voice for something.
Ball and a strike here on Waddell. Jarvis the pitch. Up high, and not even a check swing from Waddell, but fouls it off. And on the hands, started to come around. The hands around the chin.
A couple of timid attempts there from Waddell. You got to get confidence. Swing away here.
Throw over to first base. Matthews back safely. No tag applied. Jarvis, third base side of the rubber, peers in. Now comes set at the chest. 1-2. Swung on and belted out to left center field. That ball is high, giving Brundage time to range over to his right and make the catch in the left center field gap. For YD, they score 2 runs on just a hit, and 1 man is left on base. 2-1. YD leads Cotuit through an inning and a half at the ballpark. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Two-one lead, YD over Cotuit here through an inning and a half of play. And up for the Kettleers, 7-8-9. Brought 6 hitters to the plate in the home half of the first. Collected 1 run on 2 hits, and Nathan Wiles hoping to have a better look here in inning number 2.
Though a nice feeling, it's got to be for the righty starter to immediately get that run support. His offense backing him up after he faltered a tad in the first. We'll see what he can bring us here in the second.
Wiles from the windup here. The lead off, bottom 2, the pitch. Breaking ball, misses low and in. Adam Oviedo in game number 1, 0 for 3. Did reach on a fielder's choice, 2 strikeouts, 1-0. Another breaking ball, misses low and away.
One of the great parts about Lowell Park, and it's one of the nicest, I think, on the Cape, is you've got the velocity, the speed of the pitch right out in the scoreboard in left center.
2-0. Fastball. Clips the outside corner, called a strike. Not necessarily accurate, but somewhat close.
That one clocked at 88. Looked about right to my eyes.
I had a couple. Take a few away. I don't know. 2-1. Misses away a fastball.
Of course, all the scouts to our left, they don't need those. They come well prepared.
So Wiles from the line, 3-1. This one smacked right back up the middle. DeLuca in makes the catch for the first out.
DeLuca with a good step there, and we know that he's got some good range and probably will play predominantly either out and right or center field. But it's all about the jump as an outfielder, and he had a good one there.
DeLuca, 54 starts, all of them coming in center field, all but one in center. As Corey Wood steps to the dish, the 8-man. First pitch, ball to strike on the outer third. Wood, the left-handed hitter. Here, game 2 of the doubleheader. YD, the 1-0 lead, thanks to 2 runs coming in the top half of the second. We're in the bottom half. The 0-1 swung on, and Wood fouled it off that front foot. We saw Robertson do the same. Next pitch, he smoked a double to left field, so maybe this will do the trick for Corey Wood.
You know that feeling when you stub your toe or something, and you just get that instant rush of anger, and maybe Robertson just wanted to drill one to the outfield. We'll see what he can do here.
No balls and 2 strikes. Wiles shakes the head no. Now to the wind, the pitch. Fastball stays upstairs. When I stub my toe, I go down in pain. I don't go and hit a double.
Yeah, well, you don't go hit a double anyways.
1-2. On the ground, right side, Govern, Fields on to first in time for the second out. You got a point. Did
you play any baseball, Little League when you were growing up?
Played baseball through high school.
Really?
Through senior year.
High school baseball's no joke.
About 30, 40 pounds lighter. Not much faster.
Well, they didn't give you free cookies in between doubleheaders, did they?
Not much better at the game either. Ray Pastrana, 9-man's up, takes the first pitch in the dirt. That's why we're here and not out there.
Yeah, for a couple of different reasons.
2 outs, bottom 2, YD, the 1-run lead. 1-0. Popped up, but out of play behind the plate. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Ray Pastrana did not play in game number 1. It was Zach Humphreys behind the plate. Ball and a strike, the pitch. Off the end of the bat, foul. That bat split in half. So Pastrana for a new piece of lumber. That ball about as far off the end of the bat as you can get it and just trickled near that YD dugout on the first base side.
Pretty expensive foul ball right there. But a much better inning so far for Nathan Wiles after took him 6. He's on the verge of setting the Kettleers down in order. Also much more efficient as well.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Wiles into the windup. The right-hander, 1-2. Fastball misses away down low. Wiles now with the 2-2 to Pastrana. Called strike 3, painted the outside corner. Nathan Wiles, the bounce back inning here in the second. The Kettleers go down in order through 2, a 2-1 lead for the Red Sox. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Two one top 3 YD out over Cotuit here. Early stages of the second game of a doubleheader. Cotuit took the first game in grand fashion, a 5-4 walk-off win. And this second game, same as the first, just a 7-inning game here with the doubleheader. Brandon Pelter with Dana Gray. And Zach Ashford will lead off YD here in the top of the third. Looking around the league, everybody playing doubleheaders today. Harwich, an 8-0 win over Falmouth, at Falmouth. Top of the 7th at McKeon Park. Brewster and Hyannis tied at 3. At Doran Park between Chatham and Bourne, tied at 2. Pitch to Ashford. misses away. Bottom 5 in Wareham. Firebirds a 2-0 lead. So this, the lone game 2 going on. 1-0. Ashford squares to bunt. And this time, he did stab at it. Ashford trying to plead his case that he pulled it back, and Pick says he did from the third base line, but no call. And now Pick with a look into the third base dugout looking for Mike Roberts. 1-1. Swung, chopped on the ground to the second baseman there, Wood, who bobbles off the glove. Had to make a long run for it going to his left, and Ashford is aboard.
Something I've never thought about. What do you think the opposing managers or what's going through their head when they see their opposer get fired up? Do they kind of feel like it's their turn next to kind of one up?
Well, because of a wrong call. I mean, I think if you see a wrong call, you kind of turn your head and snicker. You take what you can get. They'll give the infield single there to Ashford. Here's Johnny DeLuca, first pitch swinging, fouls it off first base side.
But there is something to be said about wanting the umpires to feel like they owe your side a call.
Well, that's why you plead your case, so they know. And even at the end of that inning, Mike Roberts went out and had another extended conversation, a little less emotional, but you just try to buy that next call. The 0-1, DeLuca swings and misses, comes up empty. Jarvis pulled the strings.
It was a quick at-bat back in the first for DeLuca going down, swinging. Now trying to move over Ashford.
Ashford leads off first. 0-2, swung on, and this one driven out to center field. Brundage has a track on it, settles under, and makes the catch for the first out.
It's interesting because we get so used to watching 22 home games at Red Wilson that you see a pitch like that, contact like that, and you think, ooh, that might have a chance. 400 feet here, though, at Lowell Park. It takes a little bit more.
So here is Andrew Martinez with one away. Ashford on first base in the top of the third. YD the 2-1 lead thanks to 2 runs back in the second. Jarvis sets the right-hander with the first pitch. Ashford goes. So hit and run is on. This one grounded foul down the third base line. Dana, do you remember the first ball game you went to? Was it with your dad?
I believe it was. It would have been Fenway Park.
Classic.
And
course.
I think, as my dad tells me, I don't remember it too well. I think I was 3 years old. Still the same feeling, though, walking out and seeing that field for sure.
0-1. Called a strike. Breaking ball in the outside corner.
Did Mr. Pelter bring you to your first ball game?
Yeah, and I remember it clear as day walking into the old Yankee Stadium, 300 level, kind of walking out and just seeing the beautiful ballpark, the manicured grass.
The smells.
There is nothing
like it.
Quite like a baseball game at a major league stadium. Jarvis back on the rubber here. Right-hander peaks at first. That's Zach Ashford, who led the inning off with a single. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Martinez retired his first strikeout of the game.
Especially nothing like a game at those old parks with history. You talk about old Yankee Stadium, Fenway, that just have that rustic feel to them, and I think it really does replicate in the sights and sounds, smells even too. It's just not the same as some of the newer ballparks.
Well, here's Andrew Dashbach. Double to left center field in his first at-bat. Came around to score. First pitch. Misses low and away. 2 outs here in the top of the third. A 2-1 lead for the Red Sox. Zach Ashford is at first. He led the inning off with an infield single to the right side. Corey Wood couldn't quite handle it. Jarvis sets. 1-0. Inside, that catches Dashbach, who didn't move an inch. He's on his way to first base, the hit by pitch.
It's got to be a good feeling as a batter when you see one coming in on you that's off speed, and yeah, sure, it might sting a little bit, but it's worth it getting the free pass.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, if it's a fastball,
then you're getting out of
the way. But a breaking ball, yeah, maybe I'll hang in there. So first and second now with 2 away in the top of the third, and Jimmy Govern is up. First game in this 5 spot, walked one of 2 straight in his first at bat in game number 2. Two-way top 3. Jarvis sets the pitch. Breaking ball called strike on the outer third. Good way to get started. Some off-speed stuff. Now you can come back with just about anything.
Govern been swinging a really good bat, too. Mostly in the top 3 spots of the lineup.
Ashford with speed out there at second. Daschbach at first, the 0-1. Fastball paints the outside corner. Govern with a quick word for the home plate umpire. And now has to get reset, down 0-2. So the righty settles back in, clears some dirt off of home plate. Jarvis sets. 0-2 on its way. Swung on and driven out to right field. Burdick chasing it in foul ground, and that one drops in for a foul ball. Bierman, the first baseman, gave it a chase as well. Nobody could quite catch it.
It's a good 0-2 delivery there from Jarvis because it forces Govern to take a hack at it because it's probably either surely a strike or a 50-50 call. He's got to protect.
Ashford gets his lead off second. Daschbach not being held on at first. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball that stays away. Just whisked across, missed outside. Govern held the bat up and actually took a couple steps, kind of leaning over toward that ball.
Really good discipline. And remember back in that walk he drew in the second, he showed in that at bat as well.
2-1 lead for YD. Top 3, 2 outs and 2 men aboard. Jarvis sets. 1-2. Fastball up and in. Count evens out at 2-2. Govern from Eastern Illinois hit .331 to lead the Panthers. So far, hitting just under 300 as he swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. Pastrana out and fires to first on the drop third strike to retire the Red Sox here in the top of the third. No runs on a hit. 2 men are left on base. 2-1. YD leads Cotuit. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Home half of the third. Nathan Wiles out for another inning of work, and we've seen 2 polar opposites. In the first inning, struggling a bit, giving up 1 run off of 2 hits, then setting down the Kettleers 1, 2, 3 in the second. Here in the third, he'll face 1, 2, and 3, Burdick, Robertson, and Dillard. And if you've tuned into us via social media, you've seen a couple installments of Sox Snacks.
Taking the nation by storm. The views are climbing by the minute.
Maybe the league. I don't know about the nation.
I don't even know about the league.
First pitch here from Wild. Swung on and missed. Burdick swung over a breaking ball. We've tried the different novelties at each ballpark. Here today at Lowell Park, a hot dog with some chili on it, and they actually butter up and grill the buns. The 0-1 swung on the ground to the third baseman there. Waddell up with it across the diamond in time for the first out. And so they toast the buns a bit, which gives a nice little crunch to it. But a pretty good experience. You, though, my friend.
I knew you were bringing this up. I had a feeling.
You're all out.
Yeah.
Nope.
Vegetarian, all wonderful 21 years of my life. But I got to host and I got to see the enjoyment on your face as you were eating it, which might have even been a little bit better.
Here's Will Robertson. First pitch swinging. He comes up empty, though. And yeah, I do like to eat a little bit. I think we've learned that throughout the creation and production of Sox Snacks. Here's the 0-1. Swung, tapped out in front of the plate, but again off the foot of Will Robertson. Second time today. He takes a deep breath and a little stroll.
Well, if history will repeat itself, he's about to hit a double down the left field line. You talk about food. I can't think of a better place to spend a summer than on Cape Cod, especially doing what we get to do. Then you tack on the really, really good cuisine, all the ice cream places.
Well, that's what I was going to say. For you, no meat, but vegetarian, not vegan, you can have all the ice cream you want.
Yeah, vegans are crazy.
Oh, too. This is up and away. So that's where we draw the line.
Because that means, right, that's like no eggs.
Yeah, no dairy.
So that means a lot of like pasta stuff that you'd have to get vegan too as well. Jeez.
Wiles winds 1-2. Swung on, hit on the ground. Past the diving Dashbach into the glove of Govern. Flips over to Wild, covering the bag and off of his glove. An all-out effort from a couple different Red Sox, but Robertson aboard with the infield single.
Just a tough get. Talk about perfectly equidistant. That was either Govern or Dashbach's play to be made, and neither of them really had a great shot at it. Still a good recovery, though, especially with the heads-up play of Wiles to go over and cover it first. At least they made it close. A lot of times that would have just been a slow roller into the outfield.
Thomas Dillard up the 3-man with the man aboard, 1 out. Bottom 3, his team trails at 2-1. So we've only had 3 episodes, a cookie, the donut burger at Red Wilson, and the dog today. It's the first pitch, down low in the dirt. What was your favorite? I guess I should say to watch me eat. I mean, yeah, well, you tried the cookie. You had the cookie.
And the cookie was good. The cookie was very good. I gave it just under a 7.
Does that make it your favorite then? Is that your favorite episode?
I feel like you're taunting me a little bit.
1-0, breaking ball, dips down low and misses.
I've only had the opportunity to eat a third of the time on our episodes. Other times I'm just sitting there talking and holding a mic in your face while you enjoy wonderful, delicious ballpark food.
Hey, but this is your decision, man. Wiles sets 2-0. Fastball misses inside.
All I'm saying is Tuesday when we go to Stony Brook Field in Brewster Whitecaps to meet the defending Whitecaps for the first time this year, we're getting something that doesn't have meat in it. I don't care what it is.
Off day tomorrow. The 2-0, 3-0. Called a strike, 3-1 on the outer third. Robertson, an infield single. He's at first base with 1 out in the bottom of the third. YD up, though, 2-1. Wiles sets the right-hander with the 3-1. Tapped up the third base side. A swinging bunt that rolls foul. Kerner touches up, and the count runs full now.
And lucky for Kerner as well, because if that dribbles down the line and stays in play, no chance to get Dillard. Obviously would have taken a single at that, but a great job from Wiles to battle back in a count after falling behind 3-0, especially against one of the better hitters on the Cape, a returner in Dillard, and a guy you definitely don't want to leave a pitch hanging over the plate to.
On first and third base lines, the grass is the fair line. The 3-2. That one inside misses and gets away from Kerner. It was Robertson going on the pitch. He'll stay put at second base. And so a walk here. 2 men aboard with 1 out. The 4-man, Zach Bierman up.
A lot of base runners here in the early going of Game 2. Still only 3 runs, but ample opportunities for both sides to really get some run support. And another good hitter in Bierman. He picked up that lone RBI back in the first, and obviously we saw what he did at the end of Game 1.
So that's the first walk of the day here for Nathan Wiles. The bottom of the third, just an out, 2 men aboard. The first pitch swung on and grounded foul into the first base coach there on the first base side.
Tell you what, if I'm Nathan Wiles, I'm being very particular and pretty careful pitching to Zach Bierman right now because he is hitting the bar hard and loud, a lot of contact. That just missing by a foot or two down the first base line.
RBI double in his first at-bat here in game number 2. Game winner in game 1. Wiles sets the 0-1. Breaking ball called strike, and he's ahead here. No balls and 2 strikes. Do you waste a pitch or come right after the format?
I think you try and waste one. If you remember, that count was 0-2 in the bottom of the 7th of game 1.
Wiles staring in for the sign from Kerner. Accepts, sets at the chest. Throws over to second base, and they caught Robertson leaning a bit, but just able to get back in time. Martinez tagging Robertson up on the back.
Well, Martinez was there. The throw was just elevated a tad. If Wiles puts that lower by the feet of Robertson, they might have a play.
No balls and 2 strikes here to Bierman. Wiles kick, steals. Fastball up and in. Runners on first and second. YD the 2-1 lead. 2 runs in the top of the second inning, responding to a 1-run bottom first for Cotuit. The 1-2 swung on. Hit off the glove of Govern over at second base, and that'll trickle into right field. 1 run will score. And runners on the corner here. An RBI single for Zach Bierman. Boy, he hit that hard on 1 hop off the glove of a diving Jimmy Govern and into right.
And he's pulling it every single time. The game-winning hit back in game number 1, the RBI double in the first, and then here in the third, picking up RBI after RBI, and all of it towards the right side of the field.
So we're knotted up at 2 here. Eric Jones to the plate. 0 for 1 tonight, the right-hander is. A ground out. With just an out, Whitey can get out of this with a double play. Scott Pickler out of the first base side dugout. Crosses into fair territory, and this might be it for Nate Wiles. So the infield comes in here. All tied at 2, Dana. First inning was a struggle for Wiles, and he powered through the second. Back to some struggles in the third.
I mean, the problem is all it takes is for him to leave a couple of pitches high in the zone against these middle-of-the-order hitters against the Kettleers, and they've jumped all over it. It's actually pretty surprising and maybe even a tad lucky that Wiles has only given up 2 so far when you consider the power and pop that's been shown. And it looks like Scott Pickler's just out to talk with him, settle him down. He's going to hold off on the switch for a little bit.
Pick likes to go out there instead of a pitching coach, so it's not always a change when he's on his way out to the mound.
You just really never know.
And so Wiles, it will be the right-hander. Runners on the corner, just an out. Bottom third, 1 run already across. Eric Jones trying to make it more. Wiles, third base side of the rubber. The first pitch, swung on and missed in the dirt. Kerner over to his left to quickly pick it up. The corners were crashing for Whitey, expecting bunt. Bierman off of first. Dillard at third. Eric Jones, the righty at the plate. Wiles sets. A 1 on its way. Squares to bunt. Pulls back. A ball down low. No attempt there.
And keeping it on after the element of surprise has been removed. Roberts now walking down the third base line to make sure everything's squared away with Jones. Actually pointing at his feet. Looks like he was giving him a bit of a tutorial in front of the crowd here at Lowell Park.
We'll see if he's put to task to bunt again here. Ball and a strike. 1 out. Runners on the corner. Tied at 2 in the bottom of the third. Second game of the doubleheader between YD and Cotuit. 1-1. Squares to bunt. This one in the dirt again. Kerner picks it up. And Jones pulled it back. So now 2-1. Cotuit took the first game, a walk-off. In the 7th inning, thanks to Zach Bierman, who's at first base, a 5-4 win. Wiles glove on the hip, looking in at Kerner. Shakes the head no twice. Looks at first, now comes set. The right-hander steps off. Jones back in on the right side, taps the plate. 2-1. Swung on and hit in on the hands, but fouled into the screen on the third base side. Jones going to need a new piece of lumber.
That's a nice challenging pitch from Wiles coming in on the hands of Jones. Obviously, he wasn't sure if he was going to keep that bunt sign on. It looked like he was swinging away, but nothing really to do with a fastball like that that's so in tight. You can't really turn on it. Maybe you hope to fist it the opposite way.
Strikeout would be big for Wiles with runners on the corners, just an out. Here in the bottom of the third, we're all tied up at 2. Next is Zach Bierman. Both RBIs here today. He's 2 for 2. He stands at first. Tom Dillard at third. Wiles sets. Kicks 2-2. Swung on and belted down the left field line, but well foul. Jones turned on that one.
Yeah, he was surely thinking off speed right there. And with a contact like that, even with Campbell playing pretty close to the line, that would have dunked in.
Wiles says no to the first sign from Kerner. Now comes set. 2-2. Swung on and ticked foul over the screen behind the plate. Count remains with 1 out. Bottom third, runners on the corner. Here on this beautiful day at Lowell Park, Father's Day. We hope all the fathers listening in are having a great time, enjoying this nice weather, maybe listening outside. Wiles looks set first, now comes set. Runners on the corner with just an out. Kicks the 2-2. Swung on and missed. The ball in the dirt. Jones down swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Nathan Wiles, and now maybe a sigh of relief with 2 outs.
Great execution from Wiles there on the 2-2 pitch to Jones. Bottom drops out of it, and the third baseman just couldn't lay off it. It looked so tantalizing, coming in pretty slowly right at his knees, and then it falls right through. You can't pull your swing back at that point. A big-time strikeout here for Wiles to maybe come out of this third inning similar to how he did in the first, with a lot of runners on, but only giving up minimal damage.
So Kerner, a quick trip out to Wiles, and he's an out from getting out of this jam. Runners on the corner. 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning, tied at 2. Zach Bierman tied it earlier this inning. An RBI single into right field, scoring Will Robertson. That brings up Bo Brundage. First pitch misses away. How about this? As if
it just can't get any better.
Didn't eat enough today. An ice pop just came our way thanks to the Kettleers staff.
I'll tell you what, Cotuit does it well here for doubleheader day, especially with the opposing interns.
1-0. Breaking ball called strike on the outer third. I think we need to come here more often. I mean, this is our only trip with the doubleheader, getting it out of the way. But I might have to come. Maybe tomorrow, off day.
We do have an off day, I was going to say.
Wiles sets. 1-1. Swung on the ground right side. Govern gobbles it up at second. Flips over to first in time for the final out. Not before the Kettleers get one back on 2 hits. We're tied at 2 through 3 here at Lowell Park. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top four tied at 2 between YD and Cotuit. It's been a great day at the ballpark. Here, 10 innings played. Win for Cotuit, a walk-off, 5-4 win, thanks to Zach Bierman. Some close games. Still tied at 2 here.
Joe Boyle coming in to hurl for the Kettleers. Second picture of the afternoon for Cotuit. Tall freshman coming out of Notre Dame. 6'7", 220 on the bump. And going up against bottom of the order for the Red Sox.
Right-hander first faces Noah Campbell. Walked in his first plate appearance here in game number 2. Campbell, the left-hander. First pitch. Fastball called a strike at the knees, outside corner. Her Campbell actually a switch hitter from the left side in this at-bat. Boyle, the right-hander, the 0-1. Swung on and chopped over to second base. There, Wood fields it. Fires on to first in time for the first out.
Just 8 appearances this past season for Boyle with an ERA of 18. Well, he does somehow have a victory through that.
Gabe Matthews now up for YD, another left-hander. Matthews from Oregon hit .265 here in his sophomore season. The first pitch. Swung on and missed. Boyle, a little giddy up on that fastball. Powered one past Matthews.
So out on the scoreboard, it says 97. We've been told that there's a little bit of disparity in between that, coming in maybe a little closer to 95.
0-1, fastball misses down low. Yeah, 97's a little tough to believe.
Though from the scout deck, we're seeing the radar showing 96.
Boyle sets. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside. Another 97 flashing up on the scoreboard.
A little different than the velocity that Bryce Jarvis was giving these hitters the first time around.
2-1. The count. 1 out. Top 4. The pitch. Swung on and missed. It's been mostly fastballs here from Boyle early on.
Well, why would you use anything else when you got a 96 one in your back pocket?
Boyle sets at the chest. 6'7", delivers home 2-2. Fastball upstairs. Left-hander Matthews steps in. Boyle sets. Payoff pitch. Misses down low. Ball 4. And Gabe Matthews here aboard via the walk with 1 out in the top of the 4th.
That's one way to fight the fastball, is just hope that Boyle overthrows it a little bit or misses his spots.
So tied at 2 here in the top of the 4th inning. Cotuit took game 1 of this doubleheader. We're just playing a 7 innings here. Boyle sets. It's Adam Kerner. Throw over to first. Kerner in his second plate appearance. Sac fly RBI in the first. Back in that 2-run second inning for YD. First pitch. Fastball stays upstairs.
And that last fastball clocked at 97. He's ramping it up through the appearance.
Matthews off of first. The 1-0 stays up around the eyes of Kerner, and now Pastrana calls for time, a quick trip out to the freshman 6'7" hurler.
And there is something to be said, obviously, with the heat that's coming in. But at some point, if you can't place it, it makes it a lot easier for these hitters. Sure, less time to judge coming in. Kind of similar to a guy that's probably near and dear to your heart, Roldis Chapman. Can throw as hard as pretty much anyone, but control issues do seem to happen to those guys. They can really ramp it up.
2-0 on its way. Misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes to the 8-man Adam Kerner. Gabe Matthews is at first base after walking in the last at-bat. 3-0 on its way. In tight to Kerner. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk there from Joe Boyle.
And Boyle missing everywhere there. Low, high, inside, outside. And that'll bring out the pitching coach for the Kettleers to have a conversation with him. Maybe just calm him down. The Red Sox have 2 aboard, and we talk about how important it is to score runs in a shortened game like this. This is now the third opportunity that the Red Sox have someone in scoring position. They've already stranded quite a few base runners. With an out here, you'd love to get something in this middle inning and put some pressure on the Kettleers hitters to coming up.
So we're talking about fast pitchers. The fastest pitch recorded. What you got in Major League Baseball? Who threw it?
I want to say something like 102.
That's incorrect.
Faster?
Faster. Aroldis Chapman
103.
threw 105 in 2010. When you correct for radar gun placement, Nolan Ryan's 1974 fastball clocked at 108.5 miles per hour.
Unbelievable.
108. Well, I mean, what would you even...
You would have to start swinging while the ball was still in the guy's glove practically.
Pretty much. As Mike Capri's now out to pinch run for the lead man, Gabe Matthews. Luke Waddell now steps up for YD. Waddell, the 9-man, flew out to center field. Runners on first and second. The first pitch, off speed, stays upstairs. 5 straight balls from the freshman from Notre Dame at 6'7", and that plus fastball. 1-0. Bounces its way to the plate. Pastrana is able to block it and keep it in front.
Now 7 straight pitches that Boyle hasn't been able to find that strike zone, and working with a smaller one as well with the short Waddell at the dish.
Pre's off of second, Kerner off of first. Both walked here with 1 out. Top of the fourth. 2-0. Misses well outside, and now 3-0. Boyle behind another Red Sox hitter. Boyle at 6'7". Not much weight to him, though. Looks into Pastrana. Comes set at the chest, the right-hander. First base side of the rubber. The 3-0. That's ball called a strike on the outside corner. Battling his way back here. Boyle has some work to do with just an out in the top of the fourth. Tied at 2 here between YD and Cotuit. 3-1 on its way. Misses down low, ball 4, and Joe Boyle has walked the bases loaded.
And only throwing just a handful of strikes throughout the entirety of those 3 at-bats. Another meeting to ensue at the Cotuit bump. And the top of your order coming up as well. It doesn't get much better than this, though, with 1 out. All it takes is for 1 ground ball to be induced, and you're looking at a 0, though it appears the Kettleers are going to go back to the pen.
That's it for Joe Boyle. A tough outing, got an out, and then 3 walks to load the bases up. He's responsible for those runners. Reliever in here for the Kettleers, trying to work out of some trouble and keep this game tied at 2. We'll take a break. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bases are loaded, just an out in the top of the fourth, and we're tied at 2 between YD and Cotuit. The Red Sox at the plate, and Zach Ashford will face the new reliever, Ryan Smith, out of Princeton.
Lefty standing at 185, 5'11 on the bump. This past season at Princeton, he made the transition to become a starter. Started 10, struck out 52.
First pitch from the lefty, breaking ball, sweeps inside to out, called a strike. The corners are up here for the Kettleers. Infield and double play depth, that would end the inning. Breeze off of third. Kerner at second, Waddell off of first. All walk, the 0-1. Breaking ball, this one curls outside and misses.
And just a whole world of trouble for Joe Boyle in that third of an appearance. No hits, no runs. Maybe some earned runs to come, though, walking those 3.
Tied at 2 between YD and Cotuit. Lefty sets 1-1. Fastball at the knees. Not nearly as overpowering there as Boyle. That's one called a strike.
Ashford's got to dial it back just a little bit after practicing those swings in the on-deck circle.
Smith sets 1-2, swung on and hit on the ground to the second baseman there, Wood. And he tries to throw it there, loses it on the transfer. So a run will plate. Everybody's safe. The bases stay loaded. That should be an E4.
And most certainly will. Wood just getting ahead of himself. Seemed like even if he did get the ball to second for that first out, they weren't going to get the speedy Ashford down the line. But now the same situation, but you can just tack on a run.
So a run plates, 3-2 lead for YD. DeLuca from the right side here takes a first pitch called strike. Fastball in the outer. Top 4, YD leads 3-2. The 0-1, just about the same spot on the outside corner, called a strike.
Really good approach here so far to DeLuca, especially with that last one, placing it just on that outside corner.
Smith, the lefty, comes set. The 0-2 swung on and fought off foul out of play on the first base side. Bases loaded for YD. 1 out in the top of the fourth. Cotuit had at least another out, or Corey Wood booted a ground ball his way at second. Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3 down at the knees. DeLuca down looking for the second out.
No argument there from DeLuca either. That was well put right at the knees, inside portion of the plate. DeLuca didn't take the bat off his shoulders.
So Andrew Martinez comes up with 2 outs, but the bases loaded for YD. Just 1 run across this inning. First pitch, breaking ball, misses inside. That run, YD takes the 3-2 lead here. Top 4 at Lowell Park. Sunny beginning to set a bit. Certainly cooled off from the 80 degrees it was earlier today. 1-0. Swung, hit slowly on the ground to the first baseman. Bierman fields and takes it himself to the bag in time to retire the Red Sox here in the top half of the 4th inning, but not before YD scratches a run across. They take the lead on no hits through 3.5. 3-2. YD leads to Cotuit. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Home half of the fourth inning at Lowell Park. A 3-2 lead for the YD Red Sox over the Cotuit Kettleers in Game 2 of this first doubleheader of the 2018 Cape League Summer. Nathan Wiles back out to man the bump. Thrown 3 innings so far, and he'll face Adam Oviedo for the first batter of the fourth. Connects with a strike to start off the shortstop for the Kettleers, who's 0 for 1 in Game 2. Hard contact, though, back in the second, lining one out to the center fielder, Johnny DeLuca. 0-1 on the way, bounces off of home plate to even the count up at 1-1. So 3 runs off of 2 hits for the Red Sox. Benefit of some wild pitching back in the fourth from the Kettleers reliever, Joe Boyle, who walked the bases loaded. 1-1 pitch, wave and a miss from Oviedo, and he's down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. No outs, no one on base in the bottom of the fourth. Sox clinging to a 1-run lead. It's been back and forth here in Game 2. One-two pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Oviedo goes down by way of the K. Good way to start the fourth inning for Nathan Wiles, and there's 1 away.
And especially after Wiles, just so much back and forth from him in the first inning. Struggled a bit, gave up a run. 1-2-3 down in the second. And a little more struggling in the third. Does he go 1-2-3 here in the fourth?
Corey Wood to the dish. Left-handed hitter takes high from a fastball, ball 1. Wood 1 for 2 in Game 1 so far. Hitless just back in the second inning. Ground out to Jimmy Govern at second. Wiles 1-0 offering a curveball, dips out of the zone. 2 balls, no strikes on the 8-man for the Kettleers. Sun starting to dip near towards the trees in Cotuit, Massachusetts at Lowell Park. 2-0 fastball. Called a little bit low by the home plate umpire, John Labonte. 3 straight balls to Wood. On deck, Pastrana. With 1 away, the base is empty in the fourth. 3-0 delivery. Fastball taken for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued to Corey Wood. He's aboard with 1 away. In the bottom of the order coming up for the Kettleers.
There you get the strikeout. Then instead of getting ahead of the hitter there, just kind of fall behind on a guy. And we'll see how much Nathan Wiles really has left.
Ray Pastrana to dig in. Junior from Marshall and hailing from Miami, Florida, with 1 on and 1 out. Kettleers trailing by a run in the bottom of the fourth inning. Wiles now from the stretch. Comes home. This one grounded hard to the shortstop, Martinez. He's up with it on to second for 1. Over to first. In time, a 6-4-3 double play that ends the fourth inning. Kettleers go down in order. We head to the top of the fifth. Red Sox leading at 3-2 on the doubleheader. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Through 4 full innings from Lowell Park in Game 2 of the doubleheader. So far, the Kettleers 1-0 on the day, a 5-4 walk-off victory in Game 1, thanks to Zach Bierman. But so far, it's a 3-2 lead for the Red Sox as we go to the top of the fourth inning in the heart of the order for YD. Go with 4, 5, 6. Dashbach, Govern, and Campbell expected to face the lefty hurler Ryan Smith, the third pitcher of the afternoon for the Kettleers. Lefty on righty matchup. First pitch, fastball right down Main Street to start the at-bat to the Stanford product, Dashbach. Next offering, he'll take high for a ball. Trying to check his swing, and they appeal down the first base line, and John Jordan rings him up. Brings some ire from the Red Sox dugout. And Dashbach with a smile, walking around home plate. Surely thought that he'd kept the wrists from cracking, but nevertheless, no 2 count. In the top of the fifth, no outs. Smith, the delivery. Hit softly out to shallow right center field. Burdick coming on. Won't make the catch, and it falls in foul territory, so we'll do the 0-2 again.
Just kind of fighting that one in off the hands. Able to spoil that pitch.
Dashbach reached base both times so far this afternoon. Most recently, the painful way. He was hit by a pitch. 0-2, same result. Spoiled, slapped foul down the right side. 0-2 on the 4-hitter for YD. In the top of the fifth inning, 3-2 lead for the visiting Red Sox. The base is empty. Smith, the lefty. 0-2 fastball taken at the chin. Great Father's Day. The first Sunday of the 2018 Cape League season. That calls for doubleheaders across the board. 1-2 to Dashbach. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Smith blows it by him. Dashbach retired for the first time today, and there's one away in the fifth. First strikeout of the appearance for Ryan Smith. Bring up Jimmy Govern, Eastern Illinois product. 5'11" in the righty's batter's box with 1 out, no one on base in the top of the fifth. Smith delivers. First pitch hacking is Govern. Hits it high and foul down the right field line. Foul. It was Bryce Jarvis who went 3 full innings to start off game 2. Gave up 2 runs. Boyle gave up the next. 0-1, missing high and away. Evens the count up at 1-1. Danny Gray and Brandon Pelter here right along the fence at Lowell Park, having a blast. 1-1 hit foul, and I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday, Brandon, let alone Father's Day.
We do tend to have some fun.
We do.
You know, actually, Ryan Smith out on the mound from Garden City, and that's where my folks were celebrating Father's Day today.
Shout out Mr. and Mrs. Pelter.
Yeah, some extended family.
1-2 to Govern, a fastball buried in the dirt. Count moves to 2-2.
Missed out. That, you know, if there's one place and it couldn't be the ballpark, that's where I'd like to be.
Smith's 2-2 offering tails inside, and the count is pushed full. It's the things you give up to do what you love, and I'm sure that you're having a darn good time calling baseball pretty much every day throughout the summer. Payoff pitch, low in the dirt, ball 4. 1 out walk issued to Jimmy Govern. He'll take first base.
I don't know, man. Teamed up with you half the time makes it a little difficult. Makes it a little tough.
I'll tell you one thing. You're never not going to be hungry, though. That's for sure.
Wow.
So 1 on and 1 out in the top of the fifth inning. Bradley Beasley to dig in. Right-handed hitter. One of the newcomers to the Red Sox out in left field now. First pitch he sees, tails inside. Moves the knees out of the way, and the count is 1-0. So Beasley replaces Campbell in the lineup. Batting here with 1 down in the fifth, and the Red Sox with a 3-2 lead. 1-0 offering, hit hard and through the hole on the left side for a base hit. Good contact from Beasley, who found the soft spot in between Jones and the shortstop, and there's 2 on with 1 away.
Boy, it's hard not to be impressed with Brad Beasley, 2 for 3, that 2-run jack in game number 1. And then here with the single, they're coming into the game for Noah Campbell. He's probably been the most impressive Red Sox player here in these past couple days.
Well, it's taken 11 innings of baseball here on this Sunday for Nick Quintana to get his first at-bat. of the Sunday. He'll come in to pinch hit. Gabe Matthews was replaced in the field by Micah Prees, and now Nick Quintana to dig in. One out, first and second. Only third base not occupied, and the third baseman, Eric Jones, playing right in on the lip of the infield grass.
YD, a prime opportunity here to tack on a couple runs, extend the lead, and take game 2 for the split.
Smith versus Quintana, and he starts him off speed, catching the inside corner. 0-1 on Nick Quintana, who'd played in every single ball game other than the first half of this doubleheader. 5-4 loss for the Red Sox, and he's struggled at the plate so far. Just a couple of hits and 6 strikeouts. 0-1 to Quintana, wave and a miss. Quickly down 0-2, having to protect here. Adam Kerner standing on deck. Govern off of second. Beasley off of first. He just singled, and an 0-2 count to Quintana. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken high, right at eye level of Quintana.
Boy, for the struggles of Quintana early here in the Cape League season, he has just stayed so disciplined. He stayed within himself. Recently been trying to turn things around.
Lefty's 1-2 delivery, upstairs as well, 2-2. And he went through similar struggles last summer with the Red Sox, and Scott Pickler worked a ton with him throughout the summer. Saw some improvements toward the tail end of July. Hoping for the same results here earlier on. 2-2, dips low in the dirt, moving right to left. Pastrana gloves it, and the count is pushed full. Nice job by Quintana to work his way back here with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Red Sox 3, Kettleers 2, and threatening for more with runners on first and second. Quintana digs back in. Smith, the lefty, steps off the bump, looks back at second, and Govern will trot back and touch up. Arizona product digs back in. Righty versus lefty. Smith approaches with the payoff pitch, and it's fouled off straight back over our heads. We'll do the 3-2 once again.
Just love to see Quintana come through here for something, with something for YD, but also kind of for himself going into the off day.
Anything to get Quintana's bat woken up. Payoff pitch. He takes it high for ball 4. Nice at bat for Nick Quintana, coming out of cold in the dugout. And the bases are now loaded for Adam Kerner, the catcher tonight for the Red Sox, who's sac fly back in the second, scored the first run for the Red Sox. He also walked and was stranded over at third base in the 4th. And Ryan Smith's afternoon will be done. A new pitcher coming on for the Kettleers. Second time that a Cotuit bullpen member has had to inherit the bases loaded in just about a few innings. But their job, nonetheless, is the top of the 5th inning will continue on the other side. 3-2 Red Sox. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Fifth inning rolling along at Lowell Park. The Red Sox leading it 3-2 over the Cotuit Kettleers. Dana Gray and Brandon Pelter here with the bases juiced for the Red Sox, hoping for a little more run support. Govern at third, Beasley at second, Quintana over at first, and a new pitcher on the bump for the Kettleers. It's Ryan Leffner, just about to go into his senior year at St. Louis University.
And the right-hander this past season, 23 appearances, 1 win, 5 losses, and a 3.86 ERA in 35 innings pitched. Allowed 34 hits, but 45 strikeouts.
And he inherits a world of trouble. 1 out in the fifth, Sox by a run, but have the bases juiced. Infield playing in, and Adam Kerner at the plate. Righty on righty matchup. The first pitch to Kerner, dips out of the zone. He lays off of it. Gets ahead in the count, 1-0.
Keep in mind here, we're in the top of the fifth. It's a 7-inning ball game here with the doubleheader, so this would be a huge spot for YD to pick up at 2 runs or so.
Leffner coming set, right below the belt, into the motion, fires home. Curveball drops into the zone. Count evens back up at a ball and a strike. Govern walking. He stands on third base. Beasley singled through the hole. He stands on second. Quintana also earning a free pass off of first. 1-1 pitch to Kerner is fought off foul over the press box here at Lowell Park. Ball and 2 strikes. Still a ton of fans here lining both the bleachers down the first and third base sides. Good 5 or 6 hours of baseball possibly to come on what has just been a gorgeous Father's Day in Lowell, Massachusetts. Leffner sets, 1-2 to Kerner, swing and a miss, strike 3, curveball dipping out of the zone. The catcher for the Red Sox fished for it, and there's 2 outs, bases still loaded. And look out here, pinch hitter for the Red Sox, it's Quinn Cotton.
Huge K there for the relief man, Ryan Leffner. It's got to be so difficult to come in to this jam and try to get out of things, bases juiced and being down by a run, keeping things where they are. But that nice breaking ball dipping away from Leffner, the right hand, or rather Kerner, the right-handed hitter.
Cotton saw action in game 1, picking up a double and a single. Base knock here would score a pair with 2 away in the fifth. Red Sox at every station. Leffner's first pitch, wave and a miss from Cotton. He swung above it, 0-1. So Luke Waddell's afternoon is done. He goes 0 for 1. Count 0-1 on Quinn Cotton. Grand Canyon product with the bases loaded, 2 away in the fifth. Leffner, the righty, deals. This one grounded softly over to third. A diving stop by Jones. Up with it, fires across the diamond to retire the side. The Red Sox leave them loaded in the fifth. We go to the home half of the frame. YD clinging to a 3-2 lead. You're listening to YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the order for the Kettleers in the bottom of the fifth inning. Red Sox lead it 3-2 in Game 2 of the first doubleheader of the 2018 summer. Kettleers victorious in game number 1, walking it off 5-4. Now the top of the order to plate here. Peyton Burdick, right-handed hitter, will face Nathan Wiles back out to man the bump for the 5th straight inning. So far, giving up 2 runs off of 4 hits into the motions for the first time in the 5th. Connects with a strike. He gets ahead of the leadoff man, Peyton Burdick. Went 2 for 3 in game 1. So far, hitless here in this 7-inning version. Wiles, 0-1 pitch. Fastball dips out of the zone.
Every other inning for Wiles has been trading off good inning for a struggle of an inning. He's due for a struggle here. See if he can work through it.
1-1 pitch, wave and a miss. Wiles getting ahead of Burdick. Wright State product who homered 3 times on opening night back on Tuesday. 1-2 pitch, just gets a piece of it, bounces over to the fence right in front of us. Brandon, if the fence isn't here, you might be making a play on that.
Oh, come on. Definitely making
or at least attempting to.
Give me the doubt here.
When are you going to start bringing your glove to the park? You keep saying that you're going to.
Not today.
Well, you got an off day to prepare for it tomorrow. Wiles from the windup. 1-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bottom dropped out. Fooled Burdick, and there's 1 away in the 5th.
So through some struggles, only allowed 2 runs, 4 hits, couple walks sprinkled in there, 2 walks. That K number 5 for Nate Wiles.
Will Robinson to plate with 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. Base is empty. Wiles working from the windup. Fires in the first offering outside.
Wiles working from the windup. Couple W's.
I don't think I could say that 2 times fast. Surprised they got through it once. 1-0 pitch to the lefty. Lays off of it. A bouncer in the dirt by the shoelaces. 2-0 the count on Robertson.
So off day tomorrow. Anything good?
Well, I'm going home tonight, back up to Boston. So just excited to spend the day back home with the family.
No invite. All right. That's fine.
Maybe I was going to surprise you. Well, now I'm definitely not with that sort of attitude. 2-0, Wiles right down the middle for a strike. Well, what are your plans, Brendan? Because it's not going to be up in Boston with me now.
No, it's the big debut at Bed Bath & Beyond, man.
Oh, I forgot.
It's a big day.
Are we allowed to talk about that on air? I guess so. 2-1, roped through the hole on the right side for a base hit. Robertson aboard with 1 away. Right, I forgot. This isn't your day job, or this is your day job, and Bed Bath & Beyond is the second job?
Yeah, that's
we'll
job
put it
number
that
2.
way.
That's job number. I mean, I'm here for this.
Right.
That's just gonna help supplement my food.
Right.
You know, because we've
already
established how important the food is.
Do you know exactly what you're going to be doing from a day-to-day basis in the confines of BB&B?
Triple B?
Triple B, that's what all the cool kids call it?
Triple B, that's right. Stocking, helping out on the floor. And let me tell you, Bed Bath & Beyond in Hyannis is cream of the crop.
Thomas Dillard at the plate, lays off the first offering in the dirt. Kerner up and with it to keep Robertson over at first. In the bottom of the 5th, 3-2 lead for the Red Sox with 1 away. So you're starting tomorrow. Are there any nerves, any pregame jitters?
It's a big store.
It is huge.
It's a really big store.
A lot of ground to cover. 1-0 to Dillard. Stays outside. 2-0. When we talk about outfielders having to cover some ground, some center fielders do it at the best. You're going to have your hands full tomorrow going through that store.
Yeah, in our store, we actually have they'll put out some different food to sample. So that that's a big looking forward to.
Wiles 2-0 delivery is right down the middle. Connects for a strike. Count moves to 2-1 on Dillard. Hit by a pitch in the first, was stranded at third. Also walked back in the third, so he's reached base both times. Dangerous Zach Bierman standing on deck. Wiles, the righty starter, begins from the stretch. 2-1 off speed, called strike on the inside corner. 2-2. 3-2 lead for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 5th. Looking to split the doubleheader with the Western Division Kettleers. Get 2 points away from Lowell Park. 2-2 to Dillard. Fastball outside. Count is pushed full.
Here, big opportunity from Wiles. Similar situation. Got the strikeout to start out the fourth. Allowed a base runner and then collected double play. Some similar here would be huge for the YD bullpen going into the off day.
Runner going, payoff pitch is hit softly out into center field, dunks in for a base hit. Up with it is DeLuca. He throws over to third. Tag applied, not in time by Koss. Moving over to third base goes Will Robertson, and a single for Thomas Dillard. Put him over at second on the throw. 2 runners in scoring position. The Kettleers cooking.
And boy, that hit and run to perfection. You don't really want that in the air, but that one able to just dunk in ahead of DeLuca, who came up with a strong throw over there to third base. A close play, but Robertson clearly sliding in ahead of the throw. And that allowed Dillard on the back end to advance to second base. Huge here with just an out.
And not the hitter you want to see at the plate if you're a Red Sox fan. Zach Bierman, lefty slugger, steps in. 2 hits back in game 1. 2 hits already today, and they're going to walk him intentionally.
I don't think there's much of a surprise there because now you set up the force and also work around the best hitter and the guy who's been a YD killer today.
It's 2-0 on Bierman. Just formalities here with Eric Jones on deck. 2 hits collected in game 1, 0 for 2 today, and it'll be up to him to bring this game even or even possibly give the Kettleers a lead in the bottom of the 5th. Ball 4 pitched. Bierman to take a trot over to first and occupy all the bases with 1 out. And Scott Pickler strolling off across the first base line to come to the pitcher's mound. Seems like the afternoon might be done for Nathan Wiles. Going just 4 innings and a third, and he does make the signal to the bullpen. So the Red Sox in some trouble, leading by a run in the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded for the Kettleers on the other side. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the fifth inning continuing from Lowell Park. The Red Sox lead at 3-2, but possibly not for long. The Kettleers threatening with the bases juiced and just one out. Eric Jones to plate. He'll face Ryan Nelson, making his first appearance in a Red Sox uniform. Oregon product, the right-handed hurler, will dig in. Man the rubber.
Nelson, 3.86 ERA and 16 appearances for the Ducks.
Facing Jones with one out, starts him off with a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0 to the five-man for the Kettleers.
23 and a third innings pitched, but 37 strikeouts.
You could use one of those right here. Robertson off of third, Dillard at second. Zach Bierman just intentionally walk, getting a slight lead off of first. The infielders at the corner in for the Red Sox. 1-0 pitch to Jones, fastball taken high, 2-0 the count. Red Sox falling to a record of 2-3-1 after the 5-4 loss earlier today. Kettleers improving to 3-2, hoping to stay above 500 with a win today. Nelson's 2-0 fastball gets away out of the glove of Kerner, the catcher. Tie ball game. Robertson touches home. It's 3-3 in the fifth.
My scorebook, that's getting chalked up as a pass ball just off the webbing there of Kerner, who had to stretch up a bit to get it, but certainly one he should have been able to keep in front.
So Robertson scores, brand new ball game in the bottom of the fifth, and a 3-0 count on Eric Jones. Dillard advancing over to third, Bierman to second. So two in scoring position, a prime opportunity to take a lead. Nelson, the righty, sets at the belt, fires home the 3-0 and misses just below the knees. A 4-pitch walk issued to Eric Jones. And the bases loaded once again, just like that. This time a tie ball game, and Bo Brundage coming to the plate.
YD really has to bear down Ryan Nelson, the guy to do it for the Red Sox here. They need to come away with one win here after dropping the first game.
Brundage, the left-handed hitter, center fielder tonight for the Kettleers with one out, 3-3 score, and the base is full of Cotuit players. Nelson, a long look in and a deep breath. The catcher, Kerner. Righty looks at third, now comes home. Finally gets the first strike off speed. A 1 count on Brundage. One hit through his 5 plate appearances so far this afternoon. 0-1 pitch, a bouncer, good foot in front of home plate, blocked by Kerner to even the count back up at 1-1 on Father's Day. We talk about how baseball's a sport of father-son relationships. Well, Bo's father, manager of the Sacramento River Cats, AAA affiliate of the Giants. He was in action today, taking on the New Orleans Baby Cakes. What a team name, even for AAA. 1-1, slashed foul, gets out of play towards the left side. Ball and 2 strikes on Brundage.
I feel like I'd fit in on the baby cake.
You could be the team mascot. Oh, I feel bad about that now.
I think I belong on the team.
Get to live in New Orleans.
It's a fun place to be.
Fun town.
Almost as fun as the Cape.
Ball and 2 strikes on Bo Brundage. Bases loaded, 1 away in the fifth. Nelson into the motion, delivers. Off speed, below the shoelaces, and the count moves to 2-2. Big spot here for Brundage.
Scout liaison really liked New Orleans, shaking the head. Yes.
Jacob, the best scout liaison across the Cape. He's got a southern accent to him, coming from Georgia. Starting to pick it up a little bit, too, I feel like. 2-2 count on Brundage with 1 away. Kettleers at every station. 5th inning tie game. Nelson's 2-2. Just getting a piece of it is Brundage. Fouled straight back towards the fencing. Count stays at 2-2.
So are you dropping a y'all here and there, or?
I'm really trying not to on air. But when you're talking with Jacob and having a conversation, it's tough not to at least waver a tad. He's such a nice guy, too. That Southern hospitality thing, that's true through and through.
He's all right.
Nelson's got a 2-2 count on Brundage. Here's the pitch. Bounces in the dirt. Kerner to block this one and push it into fair territory. The count moves to full. Nowhere to put Bo Brundage. Last thing that Ryan Nelson wants to do is walk in the go-ahead run, especially here in the bottom of the fifth of just a 7-inning game. The doubleheader, game number 2. Righty on lefty matchup, 1 out, bases loaded. Kettleers 3, Red Sox 3. Brundage standing in the lefty's batter's box. Nelson's payoff pitch just nicked foul. Going after him with the heat. Brundage batting .378, the University of Portland, his sophomore season. 24 runs batted in.
It's like Bark in the Park night behind us.
I know, seriously. I was wondering if that was you, but I guess it is the dog. Payoff pitch, fouled off, same result. I thought you were just trying to distract me.
Well, the other night we were talking about in Harwich, foul balls and ripping the headsets off to get one of those. I'm more inclined to take the headset off and go play with the doggos behind us.
I'm going to look over after this pitch, and you're going to be swirling away. Bases still loaded, 1 out, still a full count. Payoff pitch number 3 upcoming from Ryan Nelson. Here it is. Spoiled once again, back to the parking lot. Hell of a battle here against Brundage and Nelson.
Really, for Nelson, you want to see him rear back and come with a plus fastball, try to place that perfectly and get it by him, get a big strikeout for out number 2, or have a ball on the ground here, chance to turn 2 and get out of this one with a tie game.
10th pitch of the at-bat. 3-2 count. Lefty Brundage waiting for it. Here it comes. He grounds it foul down the first base line. The battle continues between the center fielder for the Kettleers and the reliever for the Red Sox in a tight situation as well. Stillard on third, Bierman on the middle bag, and Eric Jones just walking. He takes his lead off of first. The infield playing in for the Red Sox, especially Martinez and Dashbach on the corners. Nelson, the righty setting below the belt. Looks at the mound, now up. And the delivery misses low with a fastball. Ball 4. The Red Sox walk in a run. 3 straight free passes given up to the Kettleers, and it's 4-3 Cotuit.
They're kind of like we were talking about, reaching back for a little something extra, but just wasn't able to place it down low and in the dirt. And props to Bo Brundage. When you kind of get into that groove of swinging, fouling pitch after pitch, it's so hard to stop yourself.
So 4-3 the lead for the Kettleers. Their first lead since they hopped out in front back in the first when Will Robertson scored. Bases still loaded with 1 out. Oviedo at the plate, right-handed hitter going up against the righty Nelson. First pitch he sees, dips out of the zone, 1-0. Oviedo 0 for 2 today. A liner out to the center fielder, DeLuca, back to start off the second inning. And struck out swinging, one of the 5 strikeout victims for Nathan Wiles. His start, he goes 4 1/3. 1-0 pitch to the shortstop. Curls inside, 2-0. Nelson having a tough time locating the strike zone here. Walking at the first 2 batters that he's faced in a Red Sox uniform. Walking Jones and Brundage. They stand on second and first respectively. Bierman off of third, bases juice, 2-0, fastball upstairs, 3-0 to Oviedo. This could get ugly in a hurry if Ryan Nelson doesn't settle down, and that's why Adam Kerner pops up from behind home plate to have a conversation with the reliever from Oregon.
He's certainly brought in a tough spot, but this might do with Pick out of the dugout.
Scott Pickler looks like he might be going to insert the third pitcher for the Red Sox. He motions his right hand slowly up and does, in fact, make that call. So Whitey going back to the pen, trailing now by a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bases still loaded. More trouble brewing on the other side of the break. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Third pitcher of the inning for the Red Sox. Getting stuck in the bottom of the fifth. 4-3 Kettleers in game 2 of the doubleheader. Bases loaded. And a 3-0 count here on Adam Oviedo. But a new pitcher, Mitch Taransky, manning the bump for Scott Pickler. Lefty out of Michigan State, 6'3", 220. Standing on the rubber. Just one appearance so far. And it did not go well. Just one inning. Fires in a strike right down the middle. Kerner catches it and immediately hops up to go chat with Taransky.
Literally no room for error here for Taransky. Already 3 balls there on Oviedo with the bases juiced.
Taransky going 1 inning against Bourne. It was the 9th inning. The Red Sox carried an 8-6 lead into that top of the frame. Taransky gave up 3 runs before the YD offense backed him up, and they walked it off on opening day. 3-1 pitch. Hangs upstairs, ball 4. The second straight walk issued that will allow a Kettleer to touch home base the easiest way, and it's 5-3 Cotuit.
Just such a tough spot. I mean, you think the bases loaded is hard enough to begin with, but bases loaded and a 3-0 count when you come in. It's almost unfair to ask a reliever to have to do that.
Largest lead of game 2 here, a 2-run lead for the Kettleers, 5-3. Corey Wood at the plate, lefty takes away for ball 1. 1 out still. This inning started back with the leadoff man, Peyton Burdick, striking out, but since then, the next 6 men have reached, 4 of them on walks. Taransky's 1-0 pitch. Hangs too high, says home plate umpire John LeBone. It's 2-0 to count on Corey Wood. Actually, 4 straight walks issued by the YD pitching staff combined. One of those was intentional. So now officially everyone on the base paths earned it via the free pass. 2-0. Catches the outside corner, 2 and a strike. Taransky working with Adam Kerner behind the plate. They agree on the signs. Goes into the motions. 2-1 at the shoelaces, off speed. 3 balls and a strike. Another 3-ball count to one of these Kettleer hitters on the verge of walking in the 3rd straight run. Kettleers at every station in the bottom of the 5th. 5-3 lead for Cotuit. 3-1 pitch from Taransky. Upstairs, ball 4. Corey Wood walks. Eric Jones touches home. 3 straight runs for the Kettleers thanks to walks. And it's 6-3 Cotuit here, running away with things in the bottom of the 5th. Should say walking away with things, I guess, Brandon.
I'll give you that one.
Thanks, man.
I'll give you that one. But YD really needs to bear down here. I mean, this is still a ball game. The Red Sox still have 6 outs to work with.
First pitch to Pastrana, the bottom of the order, the catcher for the Kettleers. He takes it for a strike. Finally, a YD pitcher gets ahead of someone.
That's been the key. I mean, Red Sox pitchers have just struggled here with the past 5 batters. Haven't even forced Cotuit to put the ball into play.
0-1 pitch to Pastrana. Fouls it off painfully. Gingerly walking around home plate. So far, he's 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play that ended the 4th inning.
I think now in the driver's seat, Taransky just has to come right after Pastrana here.
Bases loaded at Lowell Park for the home team. 6-3 Cotuit. 0-2 pitch from Taransky, driven out into deep right center field. DeLuca going back, and this is a one-hopper to the fence. A ground rule double. Hanging at second is Pastrana. And 2 runs score. Kettleers busted open thanks to the RBIs from their 9-man.
That ball absolutely drilled. Geez, Ray Pastrana just missed the grand salami, but the automatic double hopping over the fence there. And if anything for YD, if that hits the fence, 3 runs will score most likely. So another instance where not a great outcome, but helped them just a little bit.
So the Kettleers have batted around here in the 5th. Peyton Burdick to bat for the 2nd time. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner to begin his 2nd at bat of the frame. 0 for 3. Struck out against Nathan Wiles, who started off this 5th inning, which seems like over an hour ago. Taransky's 0-1 off speed, fouled off to the right side. 0-2 for the 2nd straight batter.
Talked about how difficult things can be in game 2 better. Makes it even more difficult when Cotuit bats around here. We run out of space on the score.
0-2 count to Peyton Burdick. Called strike 3 looking. Burdick down by way of the K for the 2nd time in the 5th inning. Starts the inning striking out swinging. Now records the 2nd out. That's incredible to think about it.
The only Kettleer that didn't reach.
In the entire inning. And now Will Robertson.
Not in the game, in the inning.
Will Robertson to dig in with 2 away. So out of 10 batters, Burdick records the 2 outs. Bases still loaded. Robertson, the left-handed hitter, facing the lefty Taransky out of Michigan State. First pitch on the way, golfed foul towards the right side in the YD dugout. 0-1. Taransky getting ahead of these Kettleer hitters. Taransky back out in the bump with a fresh new baseball. Glaring in at Will Robertson. He's reached base and scored in all 3 times that he's come out to the plate in game 2. 0-1. Called strike at the knees. 0-2 for the 3rd straight at bat. Robertson back in. Taransky 1 pitch away from getting out of this horrible 5th inning for the Red Sox. Setting right at the chin, goes to the motions, delivers the 0-2. Well outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Robertson doubling in the 1st. Back-to-back base knocks in the 3rd and the 5th. He scored 3 of the Kettleers' 8 runs. 1-2 from Taransky is roped down the right field line, but just foul. That would have easily scored the 2 runners on base. Nevertheless, we'll do the 1-2 again. Past the 7 o'clock hour on the East Coast. We started playing baseball at 2 o'clock here at Lowell Park, so we're into hour number 5 by my count.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. Not a mathematician, that's for sure. 1-2 count on Robertson. 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The inning ends, but not before the Kettleers put up 5 runs and a whole ton of walks by the Red Sox pitcher. Sends us into the 6th. It's 8-3 Cotuit. Top of the 6th on the other side of this break. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back for the top of the 6th at Lowell Park. Game 2 of the doubleheader, and the Red Sox trailing at 8-3. We thank you so much for tuning in to YD Red Sox Baseball on this Father's Day, wherever you may be. On the West Coast, if you're listening in Cartersville, Georgia, wherever it may be, as we know some of the interns' parents are. And we thank you guys so much. It means a lot to know that actually someone's out there staring at a screen with us talking into it. Can't tell you why.
I feel
know, terrible. Especially after that treacherous 5th inning for the Red Sox. But back at it here with the leadoff man, Zach Ashford, whose first pitch hacking fouls off Lefner's first offering.
Still 6 outs for YD to work with. I mean, certainly not over.
Kettleers walking off game 1, 5-4. A 5-run lead here. 0-1 fastball at the shoelaces that Ashford gets out of the way. Advancing twice this afternoon, singling in the 3rd, and then bounced one to the second baseman, Corey Wood, in the 4th inning. Was stranded at first base. 1-1 pitch on the way, connects for a strike on the inside corner. Ball and 2 strikes on Zach Ashford. Fresno State product that's turned into the day-to-day leadoff man for YD. 1-2, poked in the hole, the left side, shortstop Oviedo's up with it, throws across the diamond to retire Ashford and collect the first out of the inning.
Boy, we've seen Eric Jones over at third laying out for a ton of balls that are routine for the shortstop to make. There he tried it again. That one squirted through, though. Oviedo able to make the play backhanding.
Just all grit coming from the Cotuit infield right now. Johnny DeLuca at the plate, swings at the first pitch and bounces it slowly, just about 10 feet foul. 0-1 count on DeLuca. Selected in the 39th round of the 2017 MLB draft, though elected to go play for the Ducks. 0-1 is given a ride out in the right center field. Moving to his left is Brundage. Camps under it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
YD getting a hold of a ball there, but fielder over in time, and Brundage able to get under that one.
Andrew Martinez to dig in, hoping to salvage something in the top of the 6th for the Red Sox. 2 away, no one on base, trailing by 5. Righty-on-righty matchup with Ryan Lefner manning the bump for the Kettleers. Comes home with the first pitch off speed, falling in for a strike to get ahead of the 3-man Martinez.
So off day in Boston. What plans?
Well, unfortunately, the Red Sox are off as well, as the 0-1 is cut on and missed in the dirt. Was hoping to get up to Fenway, so we'll have to wait for that. Other than that, just excited to spend some time with the family. Been down on the Cape now for a couple of weeks, as well as you. It's not a bad space to spend the summer, but looking forward to see some family. 0-2 pitch, plunks Martinez right in the helmet. Lefner let that fastball go, and Martinez couldn't duck out of the way of that. Probably the most painful way to get over to first base, but Red Sox do get a base runner.
Kind of shakes the head off as he jogs over to first. He's certainly all right. Looked like it might have caught him in the earpiece, that left ear there. He's all good over at first.
There's a reason they wear helmets, and that's a prime example of it.
Well, they didn't at a time.
That's true.
Didn't work out well.
Tell you what, I sure would want one if I'm up there facing 95 heat.
Hockey goalies didn't either at a time.
Dashbach stakes ball one low in the dirt with 2 away. You're right. For quite a while, hockey goalies were unprotected, which seems crazy to think about now.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Runner on first is Martinez. 1-0 count with Ryan Lefner, the righty reliever for the Kettleers, dealing. Next pitch, foul to the backstop. Andrew getting a piece of it. And you could tell the talent that this guy has. Stanford product at 287 this past season. Led the Cardinal with 17 dingers, 63 runs batted in. And he's shown us some good stuff early on here, just in a few games, wearing the YD red. 1-1 count. Lefner's next offering stays high. Fastball 2-1 the count.
Teammates and former Red Sox Nico Horner, Chris Bubich, also with the Cardinal, having some standout seasons and getting picked up. Major League Baseball draft last week.
They sure did, going pretty high as well. Lefner's 2-1 pitch, cut on and fouled back.
Bubich, the top pitcher on the Cape. Nico Horner, an all-star last year. And
yep.
Horner, first-round draft pick.
Both saw action at Spillane Field in the all-star game. Bubich getting the start. Pitched a perfect first inning. I believe going the 24th overall pick. Horner going later as well. And a ton of Red Sox players last year selected in this year's draft.
All around the Cape. 4 of the top 9 picks.
2-2 to Dashbach, taken low in the dirt. Count is pushed full with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Red Sox trail by 5, 8-3 to the Kettleers. Martinez on first base, plunked in the head. Hit by a pitch and takes a lead off of first, not held on by the first baseman, Zach Bierman. Lefner working from the stretch, fires home. Fastball misses at chin level. He's walked Dashbach, who will take first base. 2 runners straight reaching base for YD. Jimmy Govern now to the plate, looking to extend the 6th. So Martinez now at second. Dashbach over at first. And Jimmy Govern waiting. Conversation between Pastrana, the catcher, and Lefner, the righty pitcher. Also with the Cotuit pitching coach out there as well.
The Red Sox trying to prove that they've got a little fight in them. I mean, trailing 5 runs. Sure, they have 2 outs, but getting 2 men aboard.
Looking across the CCBL, obviously the final here in Game 1, the Kettleers winning 5-4. Hyannis takes Game 1 in extras over the Whitecaps. Extras, though, only going 8 innings, 4-3. Mariners shut out the Commodores on the road at Gov Fuller Field, 8-0 in Game 1. And the Gatemen improve 5-0. 4-3, they beat the Firebirds. Anglers take down the Braves 7-2. Those all the Game 1s that are completed. All of the Game 2s still underway. We're the furthest here at Lowell Park. Top of the 3rd at McKeon. 4-0 lead for the Harper Hawks. Mariners lead at 2-1. Orleans up a run on the Gatemen, and no score at Doran Park between the Braves and the Anglers. All right, back ready for action. Baseball here at Lowell Park. 2 outs, 2 aboard for the Red Sox, trailing by 5, and Jimmy Govern digs in. Ryan Lefner will step off, reassess his situation, throwing to Ray Pastrana. Just a long conversation at the pitcher's mound. Make sure they're on the same page. Lefner glances back at second. Now delivers fastball high and in tight, taken for a ball. Govern's walked twice here in Game 2. came around to score the second YD run of the second inning, then was stranded over at third base back in the fifth. Also a strikeout victim. Righty on righty matchup in the 1-0 pitch. Soft tapper foul to the Cotuit dugout, rolls in.
Starting to get a little buggy out here at Lowell Park.
Crazy to think just about 5 hours ago, the sun was beaming down. We were worrying about getting sunburnt, though that might surely have happened looking over at your face, pal. 1-1 count on Govern. Here's the pitch, another tapper foul. We did not prepare for this long day at the ballpark. I don't know, maybe I should have checked the weather app. I wasn't expecting high 80s and sun beaming down, that's for sure.
May or may not have told Mom I brought sunscreen, so let's kind of cool it over there.
Cat's out of the bag. Mrs. Pelter, if you're listening, I'm staring directly at a tub of sunscreen that Brandon so accurately brought to the ballpark. 1-2 pitch to Govern, hit hard on the ground. Shortstop Oviedo ranges and flips to second to get the easy out and keep the Red Sox off the board. Home half of the sixth coming up. Cotuit out in front, 8-3. You're listening to YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the sixth inning at Lowell Park. Kettleers in control, up 8-3, looking for the doubleheader sweep of YD. Thomas Dillard to come to the plate to start off the frame. He'll face Mitch Turansky, who's back out for his second inning of work. Came in relief, which was just a tumultuous fifth inning for YD, giving up 5 runs, a ton of walks, and allowed some very easy runs to score for Cotuit. Lefty Turansky facing the righty Dillard. First pitch of the at-bat is hit right back where she came from. Dunks into center field for a base hit. DeLuca to field and Dillard aboard after one pitch. Good contact piece of hitting there for Thomas Dillard, and Zach Bierman will walk up to home plate. Most recently, he was put on first. 4-pitch walk, intentional, that loaded the bases and began a world of trouble for the Red Sox relievers.
Boy, I don't know if I'm going to make this next inning and a half. All the bugs out. Brought the sunscreen, not the bug spray.
Getting tired there, Brandon? It has been a long day. A lot more baseball to be played, though, in the sixth. Bierman cuts through the first offering. Off speed. Turansky gets ahead of Zach Bierman, 0-1. No outs in the bottom of the sixth. 8-3. Cotuit leads it. Still a good amount of fans here. Getting close to 7:30. Great day at the ballpark. The pie-eating contest in between the two 7-inning games. A lot of fun stuff here. 0-1 from Turansky. Off speed. Dips in. Finds the strike zone. He's ahead 0-2. Mitch Turansky's worked ahead a lot of these Kettleers hitters going back into the fifth inning.
Once he came in after those 2 walks, just started to settle in, ended with 2 strikeouts.
0-2 to Bierman outside, had a pitch to waste, and he did just that. So ball and 2 strikes on Bierman, who's been making fantastic contact today. 2 hits in game 1, 2 hits here in game 2. 1-2 to the cleanup hitter. Runner going, throw down, Koss applying the tag, not in time. Dillard swipes second. Pitch was a ball, count 2-2, and a runner in scoring position for the Kettleers.
Boy, Dillard just got such a great jump. Taransky focused in at the plate, didn't even really give Dillard a look, and he took off before really on first move there.
Now runner in scoring position for Zach Bierman to work with. And an even count at 2-2, no outs in the 6th. Taransky from the stretch comes home, off speed, fouled off. Bierman staying alive. Sun starting to set in the west of Cape Cod. Kettleers play at Lowell Park, just a gorgeous field. Kind of like almost a Field of Dreams-esque scenario right in between the trees where they just carved out a field. 2-2 pitch to Bierman, tries to check his swing. And they'll ring him up behind home plate. John Labonte waves his fist, and there's one away. Eric Jones stepping in.
Don't quite see the crops there from Field of Dreams, but see where you're coming from.
Definitely not
the foliage. The foliage.
The foliage. It's kind of just plopped out of nowhere. You're driving, woods, and then
parking lot and ball field.
Would you look at that? A parking lot and a ball field. The parking lot takes away from the imagery a bit, Brandon. Runner on second is Dillard. One away in the bottom of the 6th. Eric Jones, right-handed hitter, facing Taransky. First pitch on the way, nabs the outside corner. Taransky out in front of the 5-man Jones.
Well, we have to paint the accurate picture.
It's not that big of a parking lot.
It's not. It's quite narrow, but a parking lot is a parking lot.
And if you park in it, you're asking for trouble. The proximity to these foul balls. Throw over to second. They've got Dillard running to third, and they can't get the throw to third base in time. It won't even be tossed. Miscommunication as Taransky saw that Dillard was going. Immediately threw over to Koss at second, and the errors just continued here for the Red Sox.
Not more a mental mistake if anything else. You want their Taransky to step off and run right at Dillard. He caught him going, but the throw just too late. Dillard just got another terrific jump.
Dillard now 90 feet away from the Kettleers' 8th run. Pitch on the way is bunted foul. Going for the suicide squeeze with Dillard charging down the line. Kettle moves to 0-2.
One out of Pick's playbook there. Suicide squeeze.
We saw it on opening day. We saw it the day after. Scott Pickler not afraid to do anything. Mike Roberts showing the same. He's also the third base coach for the Kettleers. Standing in foul territory. Watching an 0-2 pitch. About to sail into Eric Jones. Taransky setting at the chest. Lefty winds and deals. 0-2 stays high. Ball and 2 strikes on Jones. Dillard singling on the first pitch of the 6th inning. Stole second, then took third. 1-2 to Jones, bounces in the dirt away. They appeal down to first base, and they say he went. Jones, all he can do is smile on his face as he trots back to the Cotuit dugout. Mike Roberts standing with his hands on his hips, now moves them to his head, takes his helmet off. He can't believe it. That's the second call in this game that Roberts is just completely dumbfounded at.
No words right now. Just the hands going all over the place. Palms out up toward the sky and extended.
Well, you don't need the words. I mean, his emotions are saying it all in his facial expressions. But nevertheless, there's 2 down. Brundage at the dish, takes low for ball 1. And I kind of have to agree with Roberts for the second straight time. That bunt strikeout that was called earlier, or the non-strikeout that was called, that led the Red Sox to get on the scoreboard first. And now this coming in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 from Taransky outside, 2-0 with 2 outs. Dillard still on third. 8-3 Cotuit out in front. Red Sox are off tomorrow. First scheduled off day, which YD will actually get to have as they were able to play that game on Wednesday, a rainy day on Cape Cod. Just 2 of the 5 games that got in. 2-0 called strike at the knees, 2-1.
Great benefits to such a committed staff with the Red Sox. Steve Focher, GM, also takes care of the field over there, and he said we were getting that game in.
Turansky's 2-1 offering, outside and low, 3-1. Yeah, you could see it in Steve's eyes on Wednesday. Rain was kind of trickling into Red Wilson, and no doubt in his mind that we were going to play baseball that day. Of course, a wild one against the Anglers, a 1-1 tie. Both teams squaring off, getting a point. 3-1, giving a ride out in the right center field. Ashford going for it. This one bounces off the fence, fielded by DeLuca. Dillard scores with ease. It's 9-3 Cotuit.
Boy, Brundage absolutely getting a piece of that one to the right center field gap, splitting the outfielders and almost went yard.
RBI double for Bo Brundage in the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-3 lead for the Kettleers. Shortstop to the plate now for Cotuit. Adam Oviedo, right-handed hitter, going up against Turansky. 3 runs off of 3 hits for the Red Sox. 9 runs off of 9 hits for the Kettleers. Lefty on righty matchup. Begins with a ball below the knees. Brundage now on second. They're giving that RBI double to score Dillard, singling to start off the 6th inning. Sun still hanging out here at Lowell Park. 7:30 on the East Coast. 1-0. This one drilled out in the right center field. Sends DeLuca back on his horse. He dives and he can't get it. It rolls to the fence. Brundage scores with ease. Oviedo trying to stretch it into a triple. Throw down, tag applied, not in time. Adam Oviedo with a slide-in triple picks up the RBI and a 10 spot for the Kettleers on the scoreboard.
So much speed there for Oviedo. Fingered 3 out of the box, absolutely chugging. All-out effort from DeLuca, laying out, making it a close play too. Quickly hopping up, getting the ball in there to Koss.
So Turansky gets banged up a little bit here in the 6th. Still 2 outs. Now that 11th run 90 feet away, and the 8-man Corey Wood digs in. Wood, the Coastal Carolina product, 296 season. Scored 61 runs. First pitch he sees outside, throw down to third. Martinez thought they got Oviedo's creeping down the line. He's called safe. Just goes as a ball, but heads up play by Kerner to pop up and throw a dart down to third base.
That's one of the toughest throws you can make as a catcher, because that third base runner comes down in foul territory, and then you're taught as soon as that ball is thrown to get back in fair territory.
Turansky's 1-0 golf foul into the woods down the left side.
So you have to manage that throw around the body of a runner, because if it hits him, I mean, that's nothing. That's just in the way, and you could also sail it into the outfield.
Woods walked his previous 2 at-bats, coming in the 4th and in the 5th. Left-handed hitter facing the lefty Turansky. 1-1. Smacked foul into the netting. Ball in 2 strikes, and now just 1 away from getting out of this 6th inning for the Red Sox. 6, 7, 8 due up for YD in the top of the 7th. Remember, this game 2 of a doubleheader. So the Red Sox just down to their 3 outs. We're just playing 7. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2 pitch. Fastball stays high. YD will travel to Stony Brook Field on Tuesday afternoon. No lights there, so that a 5 o'clock start after the off day on Monday. Turansky's 2-2 hangs upstairs again. The count's pushed full here on Corey Wood, the second baseman for the Kettleers. Brewster, obviously, victors taking the championship back in the August of 2017. Beat the Red Sox in the first round of the playoffs. Payoff pitch, fouled back. And that a great series between Brewster and YD. Red Sox take game 1, thanks to some late inning heroics. Walk-off. Carlos Cortez, a draft pick this year. YD was trailing by 2 going into the 9th. They lose game 2 at Stony Brook, 6-1, and then a crazy game 3. Brewster winning it in 10. Payoff pitch, fastball low. Taransky loses wood. He walks for the 3rd straight time today. And Ray Pastrana to dig in with 2 outs in the 6th.
Remember it clear as day. Nico Horner in the 9th on a wild pitch, tying that game up. And YD went on to lose it.
Marty Costas delivering in the top of the 10th for the Whitecaps. They'd go on to beat the best team in the regular season in the Eastern Division Finals in the Firebirds. First pitch to Pastrana, ripped through the hole on the left side for an RBI base hit. Oviedo comes in to touch home, marks the 11th run for the Kettleers. It's 11-3, still 2 on. 5th and 6th innings just crawling here for the YD pitching staff. Pastrana now on first. Corey Wood at second. Top of the order back up for Cotuit. Peyton Burdick about to make his 8th plate appearance of the afternoon. Went 2 for 3 in game 1. So far hitless in game 2. Taransky's first pitch to him skied high into the infield. This should do it. Govern ranging to his left, camps under it, and makes the catch to retire this side. But the Kettleers at a 3 spot. It's 11-3 Cotuit. Last licks, last chance for the Red Sox to salvage something from this doubleheader in this 7th. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Last licks for the Red Sox in the top of the 7th inning. 11-3. The Kettleers out in front in game 2 of the doubleheader. Kettleers taking it 5-4, walking it off in game 1, courtesy of Zach Bierman's RBI single. And it's been an offensive explosion from Cotuit here in innings 5 and 6. Last chance for the Red Sox to put up a fight.
It's number 20, Brad Beasley here, starting out the inning.
Wearing that number 20 Red Sox jersey, digs into the right-hander's batter's box and settles in to face Ryan Leffner back out for the 3rd inning of work. First pitch he sees laced at the shortstop. Oviedo catches it in his mitt. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Boy, tag a ball harder. I dare you. He absolutely hit it on the screws, but right at the shortstop, Oviedo.
Nick Quintana to dig in. 3rd person to man this 7th spot in the order for the Red Sox. Walking back in the 5th. Good at bat for him. Leffner's first delivery. Fastball nabs the outside corner on Quintana.
Another instance of him going down 0-2 and then just battling back.
0-1 from Leffner, right down Main Street. It's quickly 0-2 on Quintana. We'll see if he can do it again with the bases empty, 1 away in the top of the 7th. Put an asterisk next to that, though. De facto top of the 9th, only playing 7 innings. Kettleers up by 8. 0-2 to Quintana. Taken for strike 3. Nick can do nothing but stand there like a stone and walk back to the dugout just Just like that, there's 2 outs after 4 pitches. The Cotuit faithful starting to get rowdy here and come to their feet, the ones that have hung around. 2 away in the top of the 7th, and a pinch hitter for YD. Freesia, the catcher, to dig in. Lefner deals. Fastball taken at the knees for a strike. Vito been sitting in the dugout for 13 innings. Now in inning number 14 of the afternoon evening, getting action. 0-1. Dips low and outside, ball and a strike.
It's hard enough to sit there during a 9-inning game and then hop up and get the call, and here an opportunity, though, to show himself.
Final hope for YD. 1-1, grounded hard on the left side and past a diving Jones for a base hit. Vito Freesia comes off the bench. He'll take first on the signal. The game continues, and now Christian Koss to dig in for the first time. Christian, one of 4 Red Sox returners from 2017, just arrived on the Cape a couple of days ago. Only a handful of at-bats so far. The UC Irvine product. Now with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, Kettleers up by 8 runs. First pitch to Koss. Hit a mile high into the infield. Shortstop Oviedo calling for it and catches it. The final 11-3 Cotuit. The Kettleers sweep the doubleheader of the Red Sox and take the 4 points on the first Sunday of 2018. Fantastic offensive showing here in Game 2. Good pitching as well coming from Jarvis. Solid start for him and Cotuit. But Brandon, just a tough afternoon for YD. They get smacked around at home yesterday, 8-0 against Falmouth. Dropped both of them here today. One a heartbreaker, one not even close.
And we saw in Game 1 just the response there from YD. 3 runs in the first 2 frames, and then Cotuit comes back and puts up 4 runs in the third. YD able to tie that game up late and kind of showing off that grit, and then losing that one, as you mentioned, in the bottom of the 7th, which in a doubleheader acts the de facto bottom of the 9th. So a walk-off there in Game 1. Game 2, they just came out flat.
Almost 6 full hours of baseball finally finished at Lowell Park. 4-5 the win for the Kettleers in Game 1. They walk it off, and they run away with it handily in Game 2. 11-3 the final. Kettleers take the full 4 points. Off day tomorrow for the Red Sox. Well-deserved. A record now below 500. Only 2 victories to their name. Get a little bit of a race at 2-4-1. They'll be back in action on Tuesday against the Whitecaps, defending champs. First look at Brewster. 5 o'clock first pitch from Stony Brook Field on Tuesday. We'll be on the air just before that at 4:50. For Brandon Pelter, I'm Dana Gray saying so long for the final time at Lowell Park. Thanks for tuning in. A happy Father's Day to all that are watching. Enjoy the off day.